Welcome in everybody to Betting Pros. It's time to place your bets. It is me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia, and this is BP NFL. Today we're going to look ahead to the best bets for Week 4 in the NFL. Joining me as always, my boy Terrell Furman Jr. and don't adjust your screens.
Erickson looks crazy.
Yeah, Erickson.
Wow, already lost his hair, baby.
How beautiful and long your hair is.
Yeah, Erickson, I guess that Nutrafol wasn't working for him after all. It's D-Bro, Derek Brown, the king of
It all
bros.
moved over to his face.
Yeah, it all just slid right down there. Joining us from the Fantasy Pros side to help us with a little bit of betting this week, so we appreciate D-Bro. We don't have The Undertaker, but I guess we've got Kane. That's what we've got today instead. D-Bro, thanks for hanging out with us today. And I think it's great because we've got you here, one of the biggest fans of Jackson Dart. We've got Terrell Furman Jr. here, noted unhappy Giants fan. Week 4 could be looking up for the New York Giants and some other teams.
It will be. And I was wondering if you were going to intro that as Terrell as a Jackson Dart hater. I was like, please don't tell me that.
No, I am. No, I mean, I'm not a hater, but I'm not rooting bad for him. I really would like to see him do well. However, there's been nothing that's shown me that he's going to be good because the guy that loves him. Yes.
Did you miss all of the preseason?
There's nothing.
Did you miss
There's nothing that is shown. Okay. All right. We're talking about preseason. I can't believe preseason.
Okay, fine. Go back to his final collegiate season. We can talk film all day.
Collegiate,
I'm here for
collegiate season, college. Okay. All right. We're talking about
what
real football where real men play. And I don't know if he can cut it in the regular season because the person that says he's so good that is going out here and beating the drum for him is an idiot. He's an idiot. Dable is an idiot. So
I thought you were talking about me. Sorry.
Well, it's possible.
It could have been. Hey, you're everybody's bald. It could be. It could be. All I'm saying is
easy here. Tread carefully.
Tread lightly.
Now I will say, I hope everyone's appreciating my silent troll by wearing the Charger shirt today on the show. That was very kind of subtle there, just kind of underneath there. Just want to bring that up. All right, we're gonna get to the best bets here. Before we do, just a quick reminder to everybody: make sure you subscribe to the channel here on Betting Pros for more arguments and picks. That's what we do here, and of course, ring that bell till it goes ding for notifications so you never miss a piece of content here on the channel. And Terrell Furman Jr., let's start with you here. It was not a good week last week for the Atlanta Falcons and Michael Penix. Talk about a 4-outcome game that went to an outcome that I didn't even know was possible. And instead, some questions even swirling about Michael Penix, Kirk Cousins. Doesn't seem like we're getting a change. So where does that leave us with the Falcons in week 4?
Yeah, we're definitely not getting a change here. Michael Penix or Mike or whatever they're calling him over there. He's still the quarterback. He didn't lose his job like Kirk Cousins lost his job, according to Raheem Morris, and how all of that happened. Kirk Cousins, Kirk Cousins, I would never let anybody talk about me like that. That's just me. I don't know if that's what you do, but that's just me.
I got a feeling, T, if you made amount of money as Kirk Cousins has made, I think you'd be all right with it. I'm just saying. Kirk Cousins has been all right. He's comfortable. You've got that comfortable Coles cash, Kirk Cousins money. I think you're okay.
But thankful for the Panthers last week because they gave us a Close Your Eyes special this week.
Yes, they did. We talked about it on the early line show. Erickson goes, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a Terrell Close Your Eyes special. And I said, well, I'll have to wait till Thursday. But I think you're right. I'm so happy.
First play on the board.
Play on the board.
Falcons Close Your Eyes special. You got a team who underperformed the spread the week before by 21 or more points, and they are catching points the next week. Those teams perform about 66% of the time getting the cover here. And we have 3 Close Your Eyes specials this week. And I went with the Falcons. I really do think the Falcons are really looking for a get up spot. Last week, the offense was so bad that that's all anybody's talking about all week. All week is how can they get that offense going? And the defense is not really getting a lot of the credit because it really wasn't on the defense, the 30 points they gave up. It was some bad, one interception that went for a touchdown. The other interception basically took them to the goal line. Like, there was a lot of bad offensive plays that put a really bad strain on the defense. But it looks like Raheem Morris has that defense really, really locked in, loaded, and ready to go this year. Terry McLaurin looks like he's not going to be playing this week. We're still trying to figure out if JD5 is going to get out there. And this is also a team that took them to overtime last year in Washington. had a great game. Didn't get the ball back, and JD5 did JD5 things, but Bijan ran wild that game. They couldn't guard Drake London at all, and this is a different defense for the Falcons that can protect leads. So I think that the Falcons actually have a really good chance of winning this game, regardless if it's Marcus Mariota on the road or if Jaden Daniels goes out there and plays. So I like the Falcons to get it done, +1.5.
All right, D-Bro, looking ahead to the first international game of the year, we've got the Steelers, we've got the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings defense put on a clinic last week, and the Pittsburgh Steelers were handed a game by Ramondre Stevenson. So let's get your take on this one and make it one of your best bets for week 4.
Taking Minnesota and the points, man. Like, I just think we're going to see Minnesota. This is not like a lot of faith in Carson Wentz. This comes down to Brian Flores and this defense, dude. Like, they're playing at an incredibly high level. Aaron Rodgers is going to get squeezed in this game. And we know what Brian Flores likes to do, and that is blitz, 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 blitz. They're blitzing the 7th highest rate in the NFL, 2nd in pressure rate. And Aaron Rodgers is going to fall apart like he's done this year versus pressure. He has the 5th lowest passer rating and the 3rd lowest CPOE. So as long as the Vikings defense shows up like I think they will, they're going to sit here and crush past this. Like, if you wanted to tease this up a little bit, I'm totally fine with it too.
There you go. And I could tell from Terrell's reaction, he was not happy about it. Everybody out there watching on the YouTube channel, find somebody that loves you the way Terrell loves Mike Tomlin. That's what you want to do.
Good luck.
I'm not going to hype it on. I'm saving it for another show, and so I'm not going to hype it now. But I am appalled, completely appalled.
This is what we do here.
D-Bro came out
not used to this. This is what this show is every single week. I just want you to know, Dave. Everyone gets appalled at everyone else's picks, the best bets, how it goes. It's a good time.
Here for it.
It's a good time.
Here for all the smoke.
All right, let's get to number 2 here. Terrell, we got a big game here between the Ravens and the Chiefs. Both teams kind of finding their way through the season so far. I think that's the best way to put it. They've let some opportunities slip through their fingers, that's for sure. The Chiefs finally got a W last week against your New York Football Giants. The question is, can we keep that rolling here in week 4? So let's talk about the Chiefs-Ravens here, Terrell.
Absolutely, we could keep it rolling because everybody's expecting this bounce back from the Ravens, but they don't know the Ravens like I know the Ravens, because luckily for me, I have so many Ravens fans, and every season they do the same thing, and they tell me, they're like, oh, the defense is not ready to go out the gate. They're horrible, all of this. And so you look at that, you add that on the fact of they just played the Lions, and you got the biting kneecaps trends with the Lions and Dan Campbell and his team, where they said, hey, we're going to go out there and we're going to bite other people's kneecaps. And they've done it for the past 2 seasons. The week after playing the Lions, if you played that Lions the week after, you are 16-21 straight up, 13-23-1 ATS, 36%. So now we're getting travel, and you're going and playing Patrick Mahomes as a dog. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid as a dog. 12-4 straight up, 12-3-1 ATS. The same Patrick Mahomes that last time he played this Ravens team as a dog, it was +3.5, and it was that wild, I think it was a Sunday night game, 36-35, and they still got the cover. Oh, come on, man. I'm telling, it's so many system plays this week, and I'm glad that we get to go back to this system that people are giving up on, but I'm not giving up on it. Patrick Mahomes.
Why would anyone give up on this? It's a good system. It's been very good here on the show the last 2 years.
Yep.
Like, I think it's very good. And the fact that Terrell always tells people too, you might as well bet the money line as well on some of these. Are you doing that with the Falcons and the Chiefs too?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Yep. So I just want to put that out there for everybody this week. So, and it is difficult because like the Chiefs have not looked good. They've looked old and they've looked haggard and they look rough. So this is a perfect scenario where
get Worthy back this week.
Yeah, well, let's see how that all works.
Yeah, we'll
out.
See if he plays a full time.
See how much he plays, but good. Just get anybody back here on this team. All right, let's go to pick number 2 here. Let's fly all the way to Denver. Cincinnati did not have a good week 3. Jake Browning's going to now have to face the Vikings, followed by the Broncos 2 weeks in a row. So let's talk about the Denver Broncos. 7.5 is what they are getting here as favorites at home. Do you feel comfortable with that number, Derek?
Very comfortable, Joe. And a lot of the problems that Jake Browning faced last week, again, I just talked about Brian Flores. Look, the defense for the Denver Broncos is very similar. You're going to get a lot of man coverage, so good luck Jamar Chase versus Pat Surtain, and you're going to get a lot of blitzing. And Jake Browning does not deal with the blitz and pressure very well, man. Like, he's honestly, like, Jake Browning's pulling his best Jameis Winston right now in that high turnover worthy play rate. He's just throwing up YOLO balls, and Denver's going to make him pay for it, man. They're giving up the third lowest success rate per dropback, and they got the 12th best pressure rate. So I think Denver rolls in this game.
Let's take a quick break in the action to tell you about our sponsor of the show, Hard Rock Sportsbook app. You can roll out right now with Hard Rock Bet this season. Sign up with Hard Rock Bet today. Place your first $5 bet, and if it wins, you'll score $150 in bonus bets on top of your winnings. That's just one more reason to check out the Hard Rock Sportsbook app and see why so many stars and so many great ratings are there wherever you find your apps. It's our last shows of the week here coming up before Sunday. If you're looking for some more insights on what you can bet before then, check out Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub right here in the app. Kansas City has won 10 straight games at home against AFC opponents. There you go. That's another feather in Terrell's cap. Jalen Hurts has reached the end zone in 6 consecutive games. Miami has won 9 home games in a row against the Jets. All those stats straight from Hard Rock Bet. So again, you can get profit boosts for football parlays every day through Monday, back-to-back college profit boosts today and Saturday, plus a profit boost for the Sunday games as well, and Monday night also. There's new promos every single day, so no matter what you listen to or what else is going on, all you got to do is open up the app, you check out what you've got any day of the week, and boom, it's right there for you. So Hard Rock Bet app, make that deposit today. Deposit $5, get $150 in bonus bets plus your winnings if that $5 bet hits, only at Hard Rock Sportsbet. All right, let's get on to picks number 3 here for the week. And Terrell, let's talk about the Lions, the team that goes home and puts up big numbers. So what are we doing here? Team total against the Browns? Are we doing some other look? What does it look like here for Detroit in week 4?
Yeah. I decided, I looked at a little bit at our sheet. I normally try not to peek over at the other players' picks, but I peeked over and we were holding hands. And so I decided to alt it a little bit because that's ultimately my handicap here. I was a week early on fading the Browns, Joe, and I'm sorry for it. It was really, really bad on me. And I also make mistakes, and everybody understands that we all make mistakes. We all have those days sometimes. And so now I realize what I should have known. You have to fade this Browns defense on the road. Like you have to do it on the road. When they go on the road, this Browns defense is horrible. It's night and day difference. And that defense, even though Joe Flacco did not look the best in that game against the Packers, the defense held them and kept them in it. But now they're going back on the road here. Bottom 5 scoring defense on the road last season was this Browns team. They're missing defensive pieces along the defensive line at practice. Denzel Ward was not at practice. It looked like there's a chance he's not going to play in this game. Like, it's all adding to the Dan Campbell experience of how he gets this Lions team rolling. They get a big win. They go play a team, and everybody expects them. Hey, maybe the Lions have a letdown, and it's not a letdown. The Lions just begin to pour one on them. So I think the team total over 27.5, getting plus money for the Lions to put up 4 touchdowns on this Browns defense. I think they'll be able to do it, especially where they're at home here.
All right, D-Bro, let's talk about why you like the Lions so much this week.
Man, I think, look, I know this line's getting kind of steamed. It's getting bigger and bigger by the minute. I mean, when we first were going to talk about this, it was at -8.5. Now it's been steamed up to -10. I still think the Lions cover this. And however you want to look at this, Lions at home, they put up a crap ton of points. They're ticked off. They're tired of the world talking about how good they once were, and they're not anymore. Or you want to talk about their defense, which pressured Lamar Jackson on 47.4% of his dropbacks. And now Aiden Hutchinson gets to tee off against a Cleveland offensive line that has allowed the 7th highest pressure rate. Good luck, Joe Flacco.
Yeah, look, the Lions at home are just a juggernaut offense there. And look, really impressed, by the way, on the primetime game with some of the play calling, especially on the defensive side to contain Lamar.
Yep.
I
Shepard
thought
was in his bag, dude.
He was, man. And I got to tell you, like, it was very impressive to watch. They really gave Lamar a hard time. And then not only did they contain him well, they got in his head so much that he didn't run on a lot of opportunities where he should have. And I think that is a credit to how good that defense played. And I think credit to the coordinators, too. I had real concerns about how that was going to change potentially this year and how that was going to affect the Lions in 2025. And so far, so good for these new coordinators. So good job by Dan Campbell and crew. All right. So everybody loves the Lions and everybody loves our Discord too. BettingPros.com/chat. That's the place to go. Anytime you're looking for more betting advice, you can hang out with our amazing Discord community. You've got expert handicappers there. Matt Peralta's in there answering questions all the time. So if you want free picks for NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, Terrell's on there all the time. Erickson's in there. Everybody's in there answering your questions, helping you out. Right now, you can go and join for free. Again, bettingpros.com/chat. That is the spot. Join our Discord, be part of our betting community. Let's get to number 4 on the list here. Terrell, Bears and Raiders. 47.5 is the number. Are we going over or under?
I'm going over. These are two bad defenses, and the Raiders tried to sneak one over. They tried to sit there and tell you, hey, no, we actually have a better defense and they're really solid. And I knew it wasn't legit. I knew it. And when Marcus Mariota was announced as a starter, I was like, watch him still put up points on that defense. 41. I knew the 13 points against the Pats wasn't real because the Pats were still moving the ball on him. It was just Joe, those turnovers were insane. And
let's not talk about it. But
and it was very misleading against the Chargers as well. And finally, I saw it materialize against the Commanders. I think it's going to roll back over here. They really are not that solid. They are 21st in scoring defense, 22nd in DVOA. And then the Bears. The Bears defense got the get-up spot last week, thankfully because of CeeDee Lamb. If CeeDee Lamb was still in that game, I think the Cowboys actually run the score up and that game goes over. That was one of those games that probably would have got over if CeeDee Lamb stayed in the game. And so I'm looking at the Bears defense, and I don't think the Bears defense is like that. We saw the debacle against the Lions. We saw them lose it in the second half against the Vikings. I really think that Bears defense is flawed. They need Jalen Johnson out there on the outside. They have a lot of injuries coming up this week as well. So I'm taking points. I think Caleb Williams is going to be able to move the ball. Geno, I know, can be able to move the ball. They're both going to put up points, and I think this is actually going to be the big jinxie game where he gets moving on the ground against that Bears defense.
Yep. Yeah, that CeeDee Lamb injury last week really just completely changed the complexion of that game. They could not recover. All right, let's talk about pick number 4, and it was a tease for the top of the show here. So Chargers, Giants. D-Bro, how are we approaching this bad boy?
I'm betting the over on the total, man. I think there's multiple ways we get here. You want to talk about the Chargers putting up a crap ton of points? Fine, let's go that way. You want to talk about play volume because both of these offenses have been moving at a breakneck pace. Like the Chargers have the 7th most plays. The Giants have been first in neutral pace. So you want to talk about it from that angle? Or there are pressure points that you can push on for the Chargers defense. They're not good versus slot wide receivers. Jackson Dart will do something Russell Wilson has never done, and that's access the middle of the field. And you can run on this Bolts run defense. So whether you want to talk about Giants overperform expectation, the Chargers just absolutely manhandle them, or there's a ton of play volume, there's multiple outs for the over to hit in this total.
Okay, there you have it. So we got one more pick to make and then the upset special coming up next. And of course, my parlay of the week. So let's get ahead of the game here with the last pick here. And how about them Cowboys, Terrell? How about them? Let's discuss here what they're going to do here in week 4.
How about them Cowboys? 14 points against the Bears defense. CeeDee Lamb is a really big part of that offense. Huge part of the offense. And I understand Dak is good and Dak can kind of make the engine run. But CeeDee Lamb is that thing that was able to continue to change move and give them the big play. And I don't think it's just going to be as simple as George Pickens walks in. Again, I tell you, when he left that game, it looked completely different for the Cowboys offense. And so I'm taking the team total under 20.5 here going up against the Green Bay Packers and Micah Parsons. Their defense is going to want to fly all the way sideline to sideline, the entire game, up and down, all over this offense. They are going to try to shut them out. They are going to make a statement here. I think Micah Parsons is going to go in. He's going to get a sack against Dak Prescott in this game. It's the ultimate revenge game. They talked about you didn't pay me the money, all of that. I think that he's one of those guys in the locker room that everybody rallies behind. He already had a good relationship with Jordan Love. So team total under. I think the entire defense is all the way locked into this game. The Cowboys once again prove that CeeDee Lamb is going to be the thing to help them put up points because without CeeDee Lamb, they have really, really struggled offensively. So team total under 20.5 for the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, so going for the team total here with the Cowboys in week 4. D-Bro, let's talk about the last game here that you have on the slate. Let's talk about Jacksonville and San Francisco. This seems like an easy win here, a layup for the 49ers, but you never know how things go in the NFL. So How do you play this game here? You're looking at the total, or you're looking at the 49ers catching the 3.5?
I'm playing the total, and I'm actually taking the under here, guys. Like, I'm actually kind of surprised this total is as high as it is. I'm seeing 47.5 in some spots. I'm seeing 47. It's dropping a little bit to 46.5. I'm betting, even if you're getting this at 46.5, hit the under on this. Like, this Jacksonville offense has been bad to this point. Trevor Lawrence is not playing well. San Francisco is banged up too, man. Like, we might be living in a world where Ricky Pearsall might miss this game. He's a DNP to open the week with a knee injury. I think he does play. Juwan Jennings is still banged up. We already know Kittle's out of the lineup. Both these teams play at a glacial pace. They're not going to run a lot of play volume, so you need that to hit the over and the scoring. So I don't know if they're going to get the offensive play volume. Like, literally, Jacksonville is 7th slowest in neutral pace. San Francisco, 10th slowest. So you want to talk about two teams that are probably not going to play up to their potential. They're banged up. There's not a ton of plays. And we are one injury or possibly big hit away because Brock Purdy is not 100%. Mac Jones, maybe they hold him out because he's dealing with a knee injury. Like, they're splitting first team reps. We are one hit away from one of those quarterbacks maybe going out of this game, if the other one sits, from seeing UFL MVP Adrian Martinez possibly taking snaps. So however you want to look at this, the under is firmly in play for this.
I did not have an Adrian Martinez mentioned on the show on my bingo card today.
Man, I used to crap on Adrian Martinez.
I'm just saying.
I gave him his flowers, UFL MVP. Like, I did.
I used to cook him.
Yeah. Good times. All right, so those are the best bets here for week 4. So let's take a look at some upset special action here. I'm 1-2 on the season, but I feel like I'm about to be 2-2 and get back to 500. It's very rare that I'm going to say these words, so you might want to clip this, save it for posterity. I'm confident in the Jets this week. I'm confident in the Jets that they can go and get a W against the Miami Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are a disaster, and the Jets somehow left Tampa with a loss, but a lot of confidence. And I think that makes them a very dangerous team. They've got an extra day to prepare here. I know the Dolphins have prepared too. They have had extra rest, but I don't know if extra rest or anything can help the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are a team that, when push comes to shove, just cannot execute in the big moments. And I think Aaron Glenn is starting to get this Jets team to understand what they have to do. So again, this one's tenuous because as of recording this, we still don't have clarity of who's going to be under center. But if it's Taylor, if it's Fields, I'm still confident that Aaron Glenn's going to come away with a W this week. So give me the Jets on the money line, plus 130 to upset the Dolphins there. Monday Night Football in Miami. And I believe this is more about Aaron Glenn as a football coach than anything else. I just believe in that guy. So hopefully he comes away with a big W. I'd like to see that for Aaron Glenn. He deserves better. He's a good dude, good football man. And I think he's got a good opportunity here against a Miami Dolphins team that just finds ways to lose games. And teams like that, I want to bet against them, even at home. All right, let's get to the parlay of the week. I've got 2 choices I've been going back and forth about. And I was kind of figuring out where I want to go with this. But you know what? I've decided I'm going to stick with my Aaron Glenn parlay for this one. So I was thinking about maybe going in with those Lions a little bit and figuring out some of that. But instead, I'm going to go with Aaron Glenn and the upset special because otherwise I'm not putting my money where my mouth is really. So let's go all the way with it. Let's take the Jets here, plus 130 on the money line. Let's tell the Rams at home on the money line, minus 196. And the Minnesota Vikings on the money line too. I want to muck around with any numbers on that one. I'm always afraid of international games. Things get weird there. But I think the Minnesota Vikings defense, the best unit on the field, wins out eventually there. So put those 3 things together, you get plus 485. And I need to hit one of these. I am 0 for the season. Not good. Not good. So week 4, we got to start digging ourselves out of that hole.
Get on the board this week, Joey. Get on the board.
Get on the board. I feel like you're the good luck charm. I'm going to rub your bald head for good luck. That's what I go. Because clearly my bald head has no luck in it. I want to thank Derek Brown for stepping in and joining us today. Again, Andrew Erickson away this weekend for a wedding excursion. So good for him. Not his own, friends of his. So hopefully Andrew is having some fun. We've been in enough places and enough bars with Andrew to know that there will be table dancing wherever Andrew Erickson is.
Espresso martinis.
Yeah. Espresso martinis all day, son. All day. And of course, make sure you download the Betting Pros app. Use all the tools there. Bet smarter, not harder. Don't be a tool. Use the tools at Betting Pros and go place your first bet over at Hard Rock Bet 2 right now today. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For D-Bro and Terrell, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.